The wind outside crimson lights had begun to howl, the kind of eerie November gust that made the windows tremble and the neon sign flicker. Sharon had closed early, claiming she needed time to reorganize inventory, but the truth was far darker. She needed time alone, time to think, time to plan, and most importantly, time to prepare for Mitch. Mitch Lawson had been lurking around again. She caught glimpses of him the past few days, his reflection in windows, a shadow passing too close behind her, the unmistakable scent of his expensive cologne drifting through the air like a warning. And while Sharon had faced countless threats in her life, something about Mitch's sudden reappearance had her instinct screaming. The bell above the door chimed sharply. She didn't turn. "We're closed." The door shut with a soft thud, followed by the slow, deliberate click of the lock being turned from the inside. "Funny," Mitch's voice purred. "I didn't ask." Sharon pivoted, jaw tight, eyes narrowed. Mitch stood there in a charcoal coat, snowflakes on his shoulders, and a smile carved of pure arrogance. "You've been avoiding me," he said. "I don't owe you a thing." "You owe me more than you realize," Mitch answered, stepping closer. "And I'm tired of waiting." What happened next was so quick even Mitch didn't see it coming. Sharon grabbed fistfuls of his coat and slammed him back against the counter, sending cups rattling. Her eyes blazed with the kind of fury that had once terrified the most dangerous men in Genoa City. "You listen to me," she hissed, "and you listen carefully." Mitch smirked despite the pain. "Or what?" Sharon leaned in, her face inches from his. "If you come near me, near my family, or near anyone I care about again, I will make you disappear. Do you understand me? Not threatened, not scared, not running, gone." For a moment, the bravado in Mitch's eyes flickered. He opened his mouth, maybe to taunt her or to deny what she already knew, but the words never formed. Sharon's grip tightened. "You think you're the only one with experience handling monsters," she continued, voice low and deadly calm. "You have no idea what I'm capable of when someone threatens the people I love." Mitch swallowed hard. For the first time, he seemed to realize Sharon wasn't bluffing. Across town, Sienna Morrison stepped out of her husband's car and stared at the building looming before her. It was sleek, modern, and nothing like the side project Holden had described. He hadn't wanted her to come. In fact, he'd practically begged her to stay home, which meant, of course, that she needed to see it for herself. Holden walked briskly ahead, checking his phone compulsively. "We'll be in and out," he said flatly. "You said this was a renovation site," Sienna reminded him. "It is." "Then why does it look like a fully operating office?" Holden stopped in his tracks, irritation flickering across his features before smoothing into the mask of charm he always wore. "Sienna, please don't start." "Start?" She gazed up at him, bewildered. "Holden, you've been lying to me for months. I think I deserve to know why." His jaw clenched. "Just stay close." Inside, the building hummed with energy. Keypads, security cameras, glass walls with confidential documents spread across glowing screens. Employees in dark suits hurried past, nodding to Holden without hesitation. Sienna felt the world tilt. They knew him, not just casually, with respect, deference. "You work here," she whispered. Holden didn't answer. A cold knot tightened in her stomach. "What is this place?" Before he could respond, a door opened down the hallway and a woman in a crisp navy suit stepped out. "Mr. Morrison," she greeted him. "We weren't expecting you today." Sienna blinked. Mr. Morrison. Holden always insisted no one called him that. "Something came up," he said. "I need access to the secure files." The woman nodded and looked at Sienna. "Will your wife be joining you?" Sienna's heart dropped into her shoes. Wife. Secure files. An entire facility full of people acting like her husband held authority over national secrets. Holden turned. "Wait here." "No," Sienna snapped. "No more secrets." Her voice trembled, but she forced the words out. "Who are you, Holden?" He stared at her, green eyes unusually cold. "You know who I am." She shook her head. "No, I know who you pretended to be." Holden exhaled sharply. then motioned for her to follow him into a dimly lit conference room. When the door closed, the silence was suffocating. "I didn't want this life touching you," he said. "What life?" Holden looked at her, the mask finally cracking, revealing something tense and dangerous just beneath the surface. "You think I sell real estate," he said quietly. "But that's just the cover. I've been working undercover for years, long before we met. There are people who would hurt you if they knew you existed." Sienna's breath hitched. "You're lying." "I'm not." She searched his face, looking for the man she loved. She found him, but she also found someone else. Someone she didn't recognize. "You should have told me." "I couldn't," Holden said, "and now it's too late." Back at Crimson Lights, Sharon finally released Mitch, shoving him away. He stumbled, shock painted across his face. "You're going to regret that," he spat. "Get out," she snarled. He hesitated, but only for a moment, before storming out into the cold night. Sharon locked the door again, her hands shaking, not from fear but from adrenaline. She knew Mitch wasn't finished. Men like him preferred the shadows, the long games, and tonight she'd stepped directly into his. But she also knew something else. She was ready. Holden and Sienna drove home in tense silence. Sienna kept her gaze out the window, absorbing the revelation that had detonated her marriage in a matter of minutes. When they pulled into the driveway, Holden shut off the engine. "Sienna," he said softly, "I need you to trust me." She turned slowly, eyes filled with hurt. "Trust you? Holden, I just saw a version of you I didn't know existed, a version that scares me." Holden's jaw flexed. "Everything I've ever done was to keep you safe." "Everything you ever did," she corrected, "was hidden." She stepped out of the car before he could respond, the cold air stinging her cheeks. As Holden followed, he reached for her hand. This time, she pulled away. And for the first time, Holden Morrison, the man who controlled entire networks from the shadows, looked genuinely afraid. Not of enemies. Not of exposure. But of losing the one person he had ever let close enough to see the truth. Even if she had only just begun to glimpse who her husband really was.